First off, I want to start off this video by saying I'm heartbroken that he lost like that. Chama, Alex Pereira is all of our favorite fighter, and it wasn't good to see him lose like that. I actually put some money up on him, and I lost my money, and I would do it again because I like Alex Pereira that much. I'm still a fan of Alex, and I think in the rematch he might beat Sauergon. With that being said, Alex Pereira lost to me fair and square, to the better man. Earlier today, Alex dropped a response video to his loss, and he called Sauergon desperate, and something like lucky or something like that. And he said he's a dirty fighter, and he blamed Herb Dean and said he shouldn't be reffing and he should be punished and things like that. Right here, he's calling Herb Dean a coward and not a real man and things like that. But I want to focus on why I think that Alex really lost. And one of his former opponents had predicted that he would get knocked out by Sauergon because of his lack of defensive habits. He has poor defensive habits. This is him right here saying it. But then he said he would just flat out win. But Alex is not unique in this bad defense. You guys remember when Jorge Masvidal fought Darren Till? Had his hands down, and then he ended up like this. You guys remember the notorious upset against Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman? Hands down, chin up. And this next one is probably most notorious for it lately. He has a whole meme. Look, chin up, hands down. And he just lost for it. But Alex is the new addition to the chin up, hands down. He got hit by the same identical punch by Izzy in all three fights. Earlier on, he had called Sauergon desperate and lucky. But this doesn't look desperate or lucky to me. This looks calculated, technical, precise. And it looks like Alex's hands is literally almost at his waist. This looks like poor defensive habits that Vakidov said you would have. And it looks like you paid for it. And he exploited your weakness. That's what it looks like here. And the same thing when he lost to Magomed Ankalaev. He simply didn't know how to defend the wrestling against the cage. And it's the same with Israel Adesanya. And I don't think he's an excuse maker, but I'm starting to see a trend. Whenever Alex loses, he had a virus, or it was the weight cut, or it was the illegal shots to the back of the head. And I think he's a warrior that just knows in his heart, I'm better than these guys, and he probably is. But he should just say that instead of citing reasons that have nothing to do with why he lost for the reason for his loss. He loses for bad defense every single time that he's lost, and he has misplaced and misguided anger towards Herb Dean and towards Sauergon. Sauergon beats you on the feet. That's where the fight was stopped, not with the back of the elbow shots. And he elbowed you when you were standing. I don't know if people remember that. He was the better man, and he should accept that and just look for a rematch and not slander Herb Dean or slander Sauergon, because it's a bad look on his honor as a warrior when I think he could win in a rematch, and I would bet on him again. To drive the point home harder, let's hold Alex Pereira to the same standard we held Jamal Hill. When Jamal Hill broke the rules, Alex didn't say, oh man, he kicked me in the nuts. He had an aura moment and he closed the distance, and Jamal Hill was saying, I kind of put my guns down for a second because I thought I fouled him. But Alex used that moment to knock Jamal Hill out because it was a break in the focus. You didn't see him saying after the fight, Herb Dean isn't a good ref, he's a bad guy. But he broke the rules the same way Sauergon did. But it's okay for them to break the rules as long as it benefits you. And that's the way he's appearing. And I think he should just say, after he loses, I just want a rematch, and I don't think that guy is a better fighter or warrior than me. But I had a virus. It was the weight cut. It was the back of the head shots. And it's none of that. Dude, it's just poor defensive habits, man. And somebody predicted that this would happen to you. So I'm still rocking with Alex Pereira, but I think that he could be seen as making excuses, but warriors would rather die than be defeated. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't protest either because he knew he was beat. But I just think that he would rather have let himself be killed than just give up. And I think that once the fight is over, fighters still are trying to destroy the other fighters, still trying to find weaknesses in them, still trying to break them down. But you can't break them down with your words after they've already beaten you, because then it'll sound like excuses. But the warrior in them makes them still say, well, he was desperate. Maybe Cybergon was desperate, but you couldn't exploit it that night. He was lucky. Maybe he was lucky, but you couldn't take advantage of anything, him being lucky. You couldn't make him to be unlucky. The back of the head shots hit you in the back of the head, and that made you dizzy, but you didn't cover up your head. You were not able to control the situation and become successful. You failed no matter what happened, and failure is just hard, and we should just leave it there. I failed and I want another shot because I think I could succeed. But there can't be a reason for your failure that's not you every single time. Every single time Alex Pereira has lost, there has been a statement about, well, this reason, well, that reason, and none of it has been the other guy exploited my weakness. So I'm still rocking with Alex. I'll bet money on him again, Chama, but his team shouldn't let him make statements, because he's not an excuse maker. He's a warrior that's still fighting after the fight is already over. With his words, he's still analyzing, but he should just say, I want a rematch, because it's going to come off as excuse making and the fan base will turn on you. But Chama. And this is the last thing I want to address. I don't think that there's any place that a human being is safe getting hit in the head. Whether it's the chin, the eye, the back of the head, the top of the head, the side of the head. I think that it's an irrelevant formality, just like the 12 to 6 elbows. No matter how I elbow you, you could die. You know what I mean? Dudes get kicked in their head and the foot wraps around the back of the head and their head cracks the ground. I think that Alex knows that, you know that, I know that. You can't eye poke, but you can break someone's eye socket and their orbital bone and burst their eye. I mean, there's a lot of silly rules and a lot of silly formalities, and you shouldn't let fighters respond because they're still processing their loss. They should take at least 2 to 3 weeks after the fight to finally respond. You just lost. You just went through a traumatic experience, getting beat up in front of the world. They should take some time to respond so they can have a better assessment of exactly what happened, why, and what's relevant. But right now, he's right in the moment. The fight just happened, and he responded right after. Don't let your fighters get interviewed when they're knocked out, and don't let them respond a couple of days after. Give it 2 to 3 weeks.